Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English with Ani. Today, I will share a story about a boy who had almost nothing, no money, no safe home, and many days without food. But this same boy became one of the most famous people in the world. His name was Charlie Chaplin. How did his life change like this? Stay with me to find out. And if you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe for more. It was a cold night in London, 1895. A small boy sat alone near a street corner. His name was Charlie Chaplin. He was only 6 years old. His stomach was empty. His body was cold. His clothes were torn and dirty. People walked past him again and again. No one stopped. No one spoke. No one cared. From the very beginning, Charlie's life was difficult. His father left when he was still very young. His mother, Hannah, tried her best to take care of Charlie and his brother Sidney. She worked as a singer in small theaters, but the money was never enough. Some days she could not work at all. Then one day her voice failed. She could not sing anymore. Without her voice, she had no job. Without a job, there was no money. The family became poorer and poorer. They moved again and again. Sometimes they had no place to stay. Sometimes they slept outside. Charlie felt hunger almost every day. He wore the same clothes again and again. Other children laughed at him. He felt small. He felt alone. When Charlie was 7, something worse happened. His mother became very sick in her mind. She could not think clearly anymore. The government took her away to a hospital. Now Charlie and Sidney had no parents. They were sent to a workhouse. The workhouse was a hard place. Children worked all day. They cleaned. They washed. They carried heavy things. The food was very little. The rooms were cold. The beds were hard. Charlie did not like this life at all. But even in this dark place, something changed. Charlie found a small light inside himself. He could make people laugh. When the boys around him felt sad, Charlie made funny faces. He walked in silly ways. He acted like a strange person. The boys started laughing. For a short time, they forgot their pain. They forgot their hunger. And Charlie felt something new. He felt strong. He felt alive. Years later, on a bright morning in London, 1903, Charlie was now 14 years old. He walked into a small theater. They were looking for young actors. His heart was beating fast. His hands were shaking, but he needed this chance. The manager looked at him and asked, "Can you act? Can you make people laugh?" Charlie did not speak. He moved his body. He walked like an old man, then like a drunk man. Then he pretended to fall. The manager laughed loudly. "You are good," he said. "Come back tomorrow." This was Charlie's first real step. He joined a comedy group. They traveled across England. Small towns, big cities, everywhere. Charlie learned quickly. He learned how to move his body. He learned how to use his face. He understood something important. Sometimes you do not need words. The body can tell the story. People loved watching him. He was small, but on stage he felt big. He made people laugh without speaking. But life was still not easy. The group traveled in old trains. They stayed in cheap places. They worked many times in one day. Charlie was always tired, but he did not stop. He knew this was his way forward. Years passed. He became better and better. Then one day everything changed. It was 1910. Charlie stood on a large ship. He was leaving England. He was going to America. He felt fear. He felt excitement. America was full of dreams. When he arrived, everything was new. The streets were bigger. The buildings were taller. Charlie felt small again, but he kept going. People in America loved his performance. They laughed and clapped. Then in 1913, something important happened. A man named Max Sennett saw Charlie perform. He made comedy films. He saw something special. "I want you in my movies," he said. Charlie was surprised. He had never acted in films before, but he said yes. In 1914, Charlie entered a movie studio for the first time. Everything was new: cameras, lights, people move fast. He felt lost again. At first, he did not do well. The camera needed a different style. Not big actions, small, natural actions. Charlie had to learn again. Then one day, something magical happened. He was told to find a costume quickly. He chose strange clothes: a tight jacket, loose pants, big shoes, a small hat, a walking stick, and a tiny mustache. He looked in the mirror. A new person appeared. A poor man, but proud. Funny, but sad. Weak, but strong inside. He walked out. People laughed immediately. This was the birth of the tramp. This character changed everything. The tramp was poor but kind. He struggled but never gave up. People saw themselves in him. They laughed. They cried. They felt hope. Years later, Charlie became very famous. He made better films again and again. He became not just an actor but a creator. He controlled his stories. He shaped every scene. His films touched hearts. In one film, he cared for a small child. People laughed, but they also cried. Charlie was no longer just famous. He became unforgettable. He created his own studio. He made films his own way. He told stories with meaning. Even when the world changed, he stayed true. Even when problems came, he stood strong. Later in life, he faced criticism. He faced rejection. But he did not break. He moved forward. After many years, he returned to America. People stood up and clapped for him for a long time. Some people cried. He simply smiled and said, "Thank you." In his final years, he lived quietly with his family. He had peace. He had love. On a winter day in 1977, Charlie Chaplin passed away. But his story did not end. His films still live. His character still walks. And his message still speaks. You can start with nothing. You can face pain. You can feel lost. But if you keep moving, if you stay true, if you never give up, you can change your life. You can touch the world. From a cold street in London to global fame, Charlie kept walking forward, just like the tramp. Always moving, always hoping, always human. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, what story do you want next? I'll see you in the next one.